Illiteracy in the Islamic world. Did you know that 40% of Muslim world's population is unable to read or write? ISIS Co-Director General Dr. ABDULAZEIZ said, illiteracy still poses a real challenge to the Muslim communities and impedes Islamic world's advancements in all aspects. He stressed the need to consider literacy as permanent priority and national commitment in the Islamic countries, to be achieved within specific time limits through the mobilization of all efforts and capabilities. Unfortunately, data newly released from the 2011 census of India on educational level by religious community and gender has shown that 42.7% of Muslims in India are illiterate. Unfortunately, 15 countries, including largely populated countries of Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Nigeria, still lag behind in literacy, less than 62%.
While literacy rate of Israel is 97.8% according to CIA World Fact Book. Largest Muslim gender gap in average years of schooling is in Middle East North Africa region. If all the females are left uneducated, then the 50% of population remains uneducated and a lot of potential is lost. But many have understood the importance of education, the importance of Iqra.
Is Islam an impediment for development in Muslim countries? First word revealed in the Quran is read, Iqra. 750 plus verses in the Quran that encourages humans to ponder, think, contemplate, reflect, and research. We must not forget Islam's contribution to human civilization. Islam's golden age in science, technology, and intellectual culture spanned about 500 years, from the 9th until the 14th centuries. Muslim achievements in these areas greatly influenced the European Renaissance of the 15th and 16th centuries, as well as the birth of modern scientific method in the 17th century.
Golden age to mathematics. One focus of Islamic mathematicians was the development of modern-day algebra. The word algebra comes from an Arabic term for reuniting broken parts. Al-Khwarizmi was also a major scholar who, along with the Greek mathematician Diophantus, has the title of the father of algebra. Much of his work concerned techniques to reduce polynomial equations. A different mathematician, Omar Khayyam, built upon Al-Khwarizmi's work to develop the world of cubic equations. A different Egyptian mathematician, Abu Kamil Suja ibn Aslam ibn Muhammad ibn Suja, would expand on Al-Khwarizmi's work into an exploration of negative numbers and their notation. Outside of algebra, mathematicians during this period also made significant developments in areas such as induction, the working with and notation of irrational numbers, and the spherical law of signs. This work would then translate into massive developments during the Islamic Golden Age in the scientific realm of physics. Before Newton's laws of motion, Islamic physicists developed concepts of acceleration, reaction, and impetus. Many were early developments of what would eventually become Newton's laws of motion.
Razi, 9th century. Al-Razi built the first hospitals in Baghdad and introduced the use of control groups when testing methods to treat meningitis, becoming an early proponent of double-blind, placebo-controlled clinic trials. Sina, 980 CE, father of medicine and father of clinical pharmacology. Ibn Sina's best medical work, The Canon of Medicine, was taught for centuries in Western universities and was one of the most frequently printed scientific texts of the Renaissance.
but one of the biggest libraries in the world existed in Baghdad. It was called Bayt al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom.
Islam is the religion of knowledge. Reading is the first teaching of the Prophet, may God bless him and grant him peace. The first clear verses were that wonderful call to knowledge, to science through reading. Read. And this saying of God was not only for Muhammad, may God's blessing and peace be upon him, but for all people, to clarify to them from the first step, rather from the first word. Islam came to erase ignorance and spread science and knowledge. The Islamic Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization called on the countries of the Islamic world to redouble their efforts in combating illiteracy and reducing its level among citizens. The illiteracy rate in the Islamic world amounted for 40% among males and 65% among females. And the organization considered in a statement on the occasion of the International Literacy Day, which falls on the 8th of September, that illiteracy, which is rampant in a number of countries in the Islamic world, is increasingly hindering development, efforts, and economic advancement in these countries.
Education is one of the blessings of life and one of its necessities. Dear sisters and brothers, dear fellow children, we must work, not wait.